Okay, fine. So good morning all. I shared my screen and I hope you are able to hear me clearly. So this is the third session of Power BI. Yesterday we don't have any session. Last two sessions I already uploaded in a Google Drive. If you are unable to access it, please let me know. I will share the access. Okay. In last session we had a discussion of introduction to the Power BI desktop, like from where to download, how to download, and then after installation, what are the main windows of Power BI? We had a discussion. The fields, visualizations, filters, and report view, data view, relationship view. High level discussion we had, and in detail discussion of fields and filters is already completed. In this session, we are going to have a high level discussion of what is a measure and a column, and thereafter we are going to start with the home tab properties like so the flow from here onwards is, first we are going to have a discussion of a new measure and a new column. Then after we are going to have a discussion of the 5 tabs that we are going to have here. Home, view, modeling, format, and data drill. 5 tabs will be there. That is the first concept. That is the first step that we are going to have. The 5 tabs we are going to have a discussion. The second thing is we are going to have a discussion of data sources. We are going to load the data from a different data sources. That is the second step. The third one is we are going to have a discussion of all the visualizations and their properties. Fourth one is we are going to have a discussion of edit queries. As I said, as I showcased, here we are going to do some transformations. That is the fourth step. And finally, we are going to complete the file menu options. That is, with that, the Power BI desktop will complete. That is the flow that we are going to have. All those things will take almost 10 days of time, but this is the flow. Now, on a table level, new measure, new column, or a column level, or you can able to see from here, or as part of a modeling also, you can see new measure, new column. Before discussing this, DAX, data analysis expressions, is an abbreviation, and it is a scripting language. It is a scripting language on Power Pivot or Power BI or SSAS, tabular SSAS. If you want to query the data from a tabular model can be available in 3 forms, either in Power Pivot or a Power BI tabular SSAS. If you want to query on the model, on the tabular model, we have DAX scripting language is there, which people used to refer it as a functional language, where you have many functions. We are going to use that functions only. So if you want to query on a Power Pivot model, you have a DAX is there. What you can do with the help of DAX is you can do mainly 3 things. One is you can create a column, or you can create a measure, or you can create a table. You can bring a subset of the main table. These are the 3 things that you can do with the help of DAX. You can create a column or a measure, or you can create a table. In order to create those 3 things, what are the assets that you have is from a DAX? You have a variables, you have operators, you have a functions. You have many functions are there. These are the assets which are available from a DAX to accomplish the above 3. Now, sorry, we are going to have a detailed discussion of functions and everything. At this point of time, in order to understand the basic level of Power BI, we need to have a discussion of what is a column and what is a measure. So column, like if you are from a SQL Server or MSB background or any Tableau or ClickView background, so column here is nothing but it's a calculated column, calculated or derived or computed column which we have in SQL Server and MSB. Computed column which we are going to derive from existing column with the help of operators and functions. So based on the existing column, we are going to derive a new column. Let's assume I have a date is there. From that I am going to derive a month or year or a day also. So based on the existing column, we are going to derive a new column. And here, this column, whatever the column that we derived, will get refreshed whenever you perform a data refresh. Whenever you perform your data set refresh, at that time, this column also get refreshed. You perform a data refresh, and it is going to store the data. Going to store the data as part of data model. So as it is going to store the data as part of a data model, it will occupy the memory, and it is a static. It is a static means, as I said, this column get refreshed whenever you perform a data refresh, and at the time of your reporting, these values will not change. These are the fixed values. So the new concept is, it is just a derived column based on the existing column with the help of operators or functions which we have as part of a DAX, which we are going to discuss almost 8 to 10 classes in coming sessions. And this will be refreshed whenever you perform a refresh, and it is going to store the data. As it is going to store the data, it is going to occupy the memory. As it is going to store the data as part of your model, whenever you used it, it will get the data faster, as it don't require to perform any more calculations because it is already calculated at the time of data refresh. It is faster. It is faster. And when to use this one is for all textual columns, textual or date related columns, we are going to use it columns. And if we want to perform any row level operations, we can apply for integer columns also. But by default, for all textual columns and date related columns, we are going to use new column concept. That is what the new column option which is available. So here I'm just creating a small table. In Power BI, if you want to create a table, you have an option is there, enter data, where you can create a table where you can enter the data. So I'm just creating a table with the 3 columns: product ID, actual cost, sales amount. I'm just giving a transactional data over here. So product ID I'm mentioning as A, and the actual cost is 300. I got a sales amount 600. I'm making some transactions here. fine. So here you can give the name of a table, and I'm clicking on load. You can see whatever the table that I created. By default, automatically it will perform a sum. Now I have a product ID, sales amount, and actual cost. If I want to showcase the profit here, I don't have a column of a profit. Okay, so you can create a column of a profit over here by mentioning a new column. Yes,
Hi
Bruno.
Srinivas.
Yes, Bruno.
Sorry for disturb.
Yeah.
Actually, actual cost and sales amount is the integer values, right?
Yes.
That's why it's taking the sum of those columns.
By default.
If the PI, yeah, if PID also integer value like assume that 1, 2, 3, then that is also taking the summation value, right?
Yes. Yes.
That time, how can we find out that that is the primary key or something else?
So like here, first of all, how you can able to resolve without taking that as a by default sum is, you have like on a modeling tab, whenever you click on a column, default summarization option is there. Default summarization, which is for a numeric columns, by default it will set as a sum. If you don't want to set it as sum, you can mention it as do not summarize. So it got resolved. You can remove that default summarization if you don't want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So like I have a product ID and actual cost and sales amount. If you want the profit, so as we don't have that column, as my source is not giving that column, but my business requires that one. So in that scenario, you can create a new column here. So profit equal to the sales amount minus actual cost. The table of sales amount minus actual cost. A new column got created, which is going to give the profit based on these two things: 400 minus 200, 600 minus 300, 400 minus 200. So a new column got created, and you can represent the profit. If it is a less number of records, that will be fine. But if it is having a more number of records, we are going to represent with respect to percentage. How much percentage? So now if we want to have a percentage, so I am creating another column over here, new column, profit percentage equal to profit by actual cost. Sales of profit by the actual cost. Here you can verify that. So for a 300 you have a 300 profit, so it's a 100% profit that you got. For 400 you have a 200 50%. For 200 you got a 200, it's 100%. So at a record level, each record level, the profit whatever for the actual cost, whatever the profit that you are getting, profit percentage is perfect. Now if you are representing through a visualization, the product ID and a profit percentage. So if you are representing through a visualization, you can identify that A has a 200% profit, B has a 100% profit, and C has a 200 profit. In order to understand in detail, only consider one scenario. Like, let's take a B only. It is showcasing that 100% profit that you have. Come here and verify for a B. 1, 2. Only 2 transactions. 2 transactions where you have actual cost is 800 and your sales amount is at 1200 and your profit is 400. 12 minus 8, 400. So for 800 investment that you made, you got a 400 profit, which is nothing but a 50%. But what this visualization is representing? This visualization is representing 100%. What was happened here is, so at a record level, the profit percent is perfect. But whenever you take in a visualization, what is happening is, it is performing a group by operation. Group by A, group by B, group by C, and some operation was happened. So group by B, 50 plus 50, 100. Group by A, 100 plus 100, 200. Group by C, 100 plus 100, 200 again. That is what represented here. So it is completely wrong. The visualization is representing wrong data. In these scenarios, we are going for a measure. Okay, so the column at a row level, it is perfect. It is already calculated. Now whenever we are taking a visualization, by default is performing a sum operation, and you can manage it by taking this column by default average. Okay, if I take an average, it might get the correct value. It is giving the correct value, but each and every time it should not be average, right? So in order to fix that one, we have a measures are there. Before continuing the further measures discussion, are you people able to understand what is a column and what is the issue with the column? Brindavan, Kumar, Sandhya? Brindavan, if you are speaking, I am unable to hear you.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Kumar or Sandhya, any questions?
No, fine with that.
Okay. Kumar?
No, Srinivas. No, Srinivas.
Okay, fine. So that is about a column option. So whenever you are performing these aggregations with the column, we are going to have an issues because it is going to take by default sum option. Now here the column is unique with respect to table, unique at table level. So you can have the same column name in 2 different tables. And now the measure, it is nothing but it is a formula stored at a model or a report or a cube, whatever you can consider. It's a formula stored at a model and it will be executed whenever we used it. The formula get evaluated whenever you used it as part of a report. Used it, and it will not store any data, as it is going to just store as a formula only. Whenever you drag into a visualization, at that time it will get evaluated, it will get the data, and it will not store any data. As it is not going to store any data, it will not occupy any memory, occupy the memory, and as it is going to get evaluated whenever you drag it, it will impact the performance. It will impact the performance. Why? Because at the time of your dragging that is getting evaluated, it is going to impact the performance. For all numeric columns, we'll use it. Numeric or decimal columns, we are going to use it, and it is unique at a model level. In the complete model, you should not have the same measure with it, like you don't have two measures with the same name. This is about M measures, and it is a dynamic. Dynamic means like whenever you are using at the time, it is going to evaluate, I said. So we are going to write a formula which is going to store as part of a model. Now, so I'm just creating a measure. Profit percentage, the sum of profit by sum of actual cost into 100. One measure got created over here. You can identify the difference between the column and a measure, just like a small calculator kind of thing. So I'm taking another visualization. This time I'm using this measure and the product ID. The same formatting I'm going to apply there also. You can verify that 50, 100 and 100k. So it is going to give the correct data. Why? Because we are not stored the data and this formula got evaluated wherever we used it. Yes, Bruno.
Same format your copy and paste here, or
same format. I applied the format painter. So here we have an option of format painter. So however we have as part of Outlook and Word, we can apply the formatting to another visualization.
Yes, okay, I got it. Actually, Outlook how it works, email also same working, right?
Yes. So that is about a measure. So like that we are going to create a measures as part of a Power BI. The complete development is depending on the measures only. Like based on business requirement, we are going to write measures, and for that you require a DAX skill. So that is what I said we are going to cover as part of the course. That is about a measure and a column, and sometimes as part of the measures creation, so we might filter some data. We might not to calculate the this calculation on the complete result set. Sometimes we are going to filter the data. For that we have a filter functions are there. At that time we are going to derive a subset of table from the main tables. So all these discussions we are going to have as part of a DAX sessions. For now, that's it about a new column and new measure. For all textual or date related columns, we are going to create a new column option. For a numeric or decimal columns, we are going to create a measures for all aggregations. So that is what available over here, new measure and a new column. Now there is a concept of quick measure, so which was introduced almost 4 or 5 months back, and every month they are adding some measures over here. Yes, Sandhya.
Actually, where you gonna represent the measure value actually in the table level?
Actually,
in visualization, that is fine. You are representing as a visualization some format and all okay, but where you gonna represent the value? We need to see the value, measure value, where we can see in table level.
You cannot see. You cannot see if you are using a Power BI editor. If you are using a tabular SSAS, there you can see the measure value. As I said, measure is nothing but a formula. It will not hold any value. As part of the Power BI editor, if you want to see the measure value, you cannot see here.
Okay, so you have told it is not stored any data, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
It's just a formula. If you want to see the formula associated with that, just click it. You can see the formula over here.
Okay.
But if you are using a tabular SSAS editor, we are going to see we are going to see the value of the measure also, which I will showcase in next 2 days of time. So that is what column and measure. And the third option that we have is quick measure. So as I said, like for in order to implement a measures, we require a DAX skill. And the Power BI with respect to product level, they cannot force all the people to learn power like DAX and everything. So what they done is they started giving that measures as a user interface. Okay, and they started providing that measures as a quick measures. Here, whenever you click on a quick measure, it is going to give you a set of already defined methods over here. So some predefined or some commonly used calculations were provided over here. Okay, if you require any of this value, so like max per category, the amount paid is the value and city name. So if I have a requirement of for each category wise I require a maximum value. So instead of writing a like normally a small measure we are going to write, if the people who don't know anything about DAX, for them you can select whatever the type of requirement they require, and then after they need to provide the columns as input. Whenever they given as input, click on OK. Automatically the measure got created and you can use it as part of your visualization. So it is nothing but the maximum value for each city it is representing, maximum amount paid. Like that, quick measure concept is nothing but set of commonly used measures are provided as a user interface. We just need to select what kind of requirement that we have, and then after you need to provide the columns as input. Automatically measure will created. That is for a naive people. So these are the available methods so far that we have. What we are going to do is, frankly speaking, all those methods will be completed as part of our DAX sessions. And if any of these are not going to cover, so we are going to have a manual discussion on each and every function at the time of DAX discussions itself. Okay, so that is how we are going to cover this one. All these things as part of our normal DAX functions itself, it will be covered. If anything is missed, we are going to have a manual discussion on them. That is what the quick measures concept. So that is about the column measure and quick measure which is available. The next thing is so here the filters we already done, and the pages, as I said, a report by default it is going to come up with one page, and based on the requirement you can increase the pages. If you want to create a page, you can click on this plus, or if you don't want that page, if you want to delete that page, right click and delete a page, or you can rename a page or you can duplicate a page. Renaming a page is fine, like as part of our normal like reporting, each and every page need to have a proper header, proper page name also. If you want, you can give a name there, or if you want to duplicate a page. Sometimes the reports contain a similar format, the same set of filter, especially the service based companies. the same set of filters will be applied for all the reports. If you are going to apply, if you are going to create a report with a similar format, at that time, instead of redesigning the complete pages, you can duplicate a page and you can change the filters. So duplicating a page, if you want to duplicate that one, you can duplicate a page, or if you want to rename, you can rename it. If you want to delete, you can delete the page. Those are the page level options that you have. And page level configuration, if you click on empty space and if you click here, you have some more information related to page background. If you want to provide a background color to your page, you can set it. You can set it a background color to your page. These are the default colors that you have, and if you want to import a more colors, you can load more colors from here. Okay, so that you can set the background color. Transparency, like wherever you observe as part of Power BI, 0% is nothing but it is going to showcase the complete color. Towards 100, the color will get saturated. Okay, so, and if you want to specify any background image, you can set the background image. You can set the background image. This is my office laptop, I don't have any images. Or you can set you can set the background image whatever you want, and this image and this color is based on the transparency level. It get saturated, the color gets saturated if you are reaching towards 100%. So this is how you can set the background color or background image to your report. And the page size, these are the default sizes that we have: 16.9, that 4.3, and Cortana, and letter, and a custom. So if you people require any more page formats, like the people who are working on SSRS or something, they require A4 size, A3 size, A2 size, or some other sizes, you can customize it here. You can increase or decrease the width of your report like this. Okay, so you can set your page size with the help of custom, or by default this is the one. And page information, so here, which is nothing but you can specify the page name. Here also you can set, or here also you can change it. And Q&A is nothing but like Power BI has a feature that question and answers. You can write a question there, automatically the visualization will come. We are going to see that one as part of Power BI service. Okay, so those are the options that we have with respect to page level. You don't have any other place to configure the pages. This is the place where you can set the size, background color, or image, or renaming a page, or deleting a page. And yes, Sanja.
Yeah, in SSRS we are having some customization, right, to hide or visual some field and all. Like with the calculation, if the value is 0, we can't show that column or something is like that. Here in this graphical representation, do you have any calculation format and all?
You are saying
for visualization.
Expressions you are saying, right?
Correct, expression.
So here that much dynamic nature is not there. Like frankly, we don't have the dynamic nature of enabling or disabling based on the value at this point of time in Power BI.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So the next thing is Those are the page level options, and we are going to start with the tabs from here onwards. So as part of a home tab, we have cut, copy and paste, which you already know, and format painter, as I already showcased, which is exactly equivalent to that what we used to daily use Outlook in a Word. If you want to apply the same formatting to other visualization, instead of spending the time again, you can apply the same format, so that whatever the formatting that you applied over here for one visualization, whatever the settings that you made for one visualization, the same settings will be applied to other visualization also. That is what the format painter. And get data, I already told you that. So if you want to load the data into Power BI desktop, you have a get data option where you have different sources. We are going to have a detailed discussion next 2 days of time. We are going to have a discussion of SQL Server analysis services, Azure, Power BI service, and Excel, all those things. If you want to load the data into Power BI, we are going to use get data. Recent sources is nothing but the list of sources that you are connected recently will be displayed over here. By using this, you no need to provide the connection string details again. So let's assume I want to load one more table from my Excel sheet. So if I click on this, I no need to browse the file. It will showcase you the list of tables that we have, and you can simply select it. Or if you are using SQL Server, let's assume I connected SQL Server source and loaded a couple of tables, and I want to load a few more tables. In that scenario, if I use recent sources, you don't need to provide that server name, database name, user credentials, and everything. Simply it is going to showcase the tables. So recent sources is going to showcase the list of sources that you have connected recently. And get data, like enter data, is nothing but, so if you want to create a table in a Power BI, so in Power BI you can create a table by using it two ways. Instead of importing or writing a query, you can create a table in Power BI by using two ways. One is enter data, where you are going to define the columns, where you are going to enter the rows, everything you are going to take care. Okay, so sometimes, like for creating a mapping tables, or so you can use this concept where you are going to define the complete table and you are only the person who is going to enter the data also. That is what enter data option for creating a table. And you can create a table with the help of new table option, which is nothing but a DAX table. So here we are going to write a DAX expression. So the DAX expression will get evaluated and it is going to get the subset of data from other table. So that is what the new table option that we have. We'll see what is that new table. Like you can write an expression, DAX expression over here, it will get evaluated. So that is what enter data. And edit queries, as I said, it is the Power Query place where you can do some transformations as part of your data. Here data source settings is nothing but it is going to showcase the connections that you made. So at this point of time we loaded Excel sheet, that Excel sheet is representing here. If you want to change the source of that Excel sheet, you can change it here. So you can modify the path and everything. So it will be best useful like whenever you are developing your report with the help of some SQL Server source or SSAS source. Once you develop this one, if you want to move this one to your UAT environment or production environment, so simply change the correction string here and it automatically redirected to that new report, like new server. So here data source settings, you are going to have the correction string details where you can modify your correction strings from here. So this window we are going to have a discussion once we are done, once we are completed the discussion of data sources in next 2 days of time. That is what data source settings. And refresh, I said yesterday, like on the last session, whenever you perform a refresh, all the corrections will get refreshed, all the tables will be reloaded. It will perform a incremental load only. it will not be truncate and load. Okay, so whatever the modifications as part of your tables, that will be get refreshed. And these two things we'll discuss in next session. So frankly, nothing but like we'll discuss in next session. So next one is new page option. We have a blank page and duplicate. If you want to create a new page, you can create it, or if you want to duplicate a page, you can duplicate that page. The same options whatever we have. And the new visual option is nothing but, if you want to create a new visual, you can select it. This is the worst option that we have. With this, you don't have any use. If you click on it, a visual come by default. This bar chart only it will come. If you want any other visual, you need to modify it. Instead of doing that, you can directly take that visual whatever you want. So new visual, no use, frankly. And the text box option, if you want to provide any annotations, or if you want to provide descriptions, or if you want to provide page headers, or if you want to provide titles for your visualizations, you can use a text box. So here, so if you want to define some name over here, you can provide it. You can provide a font family, size, and the color of it, and border, underline or italic, whatever you want. We have those things, and alignment. These are the options that we have for a text box. And if you want to provide any hyperlink, yes, you can provide it. Once you click on this one, where it need to be redirected. So if you want to provide the page headers or headers for a visualizations or titles or any description, if you want to provide, you can use a text box to define some description. And these are the options that we have with respect to text box. And here are some options. So whenever you click on it, you have some options are available. Title, by default, for each and every visualization, you have this option title, where you can provide a title for it. Here it is not useful at all, but the option that we have, if you want to provide some title, you can provide it. And what is the font color, what is the background color, what is the alignment, is the size, and for that also what is the font. The title purpose is that one. It will be useful at a visualization level. For a text box, we don't require that one. And a background, if you want to provide some background color, you can provide it. For a text box, if you want to provide a background color, you can able to use that one. And lock aspect, you don't have any option. Even if you enable, you are not able to see anything. Border, if you want to enable a border, you can. And what is the border color, so you can define the border color. And general is nothing but where you want to place and what is the height and width. So you are going to reduce this one, right? So this is going to define the width, and this is going to define the height. So you can increase or decrease here, or you can set the properties over here. Okay, so or where you want to place, that you can define it by using X position and Y position. So this general, wherever you observe, which is nothing but where you want to place and what is the height and width of that visualization or the text box. So those are the options that are available for a text box. Not only for page headers, it will be used at many places. So just give me a second. You can see whatever the description we are providing, average mall dwell time, or the dwelling time, or executive summary, all those are the text boxes. If you see the squares that we have here, those are the text boxes. And whatever you are seeing, that elementary journal KPIs, journal traffic KPIs, these are the text boxes. So all those things are text boxes only. The headers with respect to whatever the description that I am providing, and even these boxes are text boxes. These are text box. Inside a text box we are representing a measure. All these descriptions. At a visual, see this description. At a visualization level, we have a title option will be there, but it will not be according to our convenient. For that scenarios, we are going to use the text boxes to represent the data. Okay, so in these scenarios, we are going to use that one. That is what the text box usage. Not only for headers, for annotations, we are going to use it. That is what the text box. And next one is image. If you wanted to insert any image as part of your report, you can able to use it. For data labels or logos, if you want to provide a logo, you can provide it. Or if you want to provide any background image for any visualization, so I am representing for a mall, or if I am representing some other thing, if you have any relevant image, you can keep it as part of background. So in that scenario, if you want to keep an image as part of your remote, you have this image option is there, you can import it, whatever the image that you want to load here. And once you load it, let me remove. Once you load it, you have the options here. The scaling, like normal, fit and fill, how you wanted to adjust that image as part of this one. You can set it from here, or you can set from here, fit and fill options. And fit and fill, for this you didn't observe anything. Let me load another image. So here you are able to see there is some gap top and bottom. If you want to adjust that one, that fit and fill options are these things. And the title whatever I said, if you want to provide a title to that visualization, you can provide it. And font, alignment, size, family, everything is same. And background also, if you want to provide any background color to that image, you can provide it. Lock aspect, border and general, which we already had a discussion. So if you want to add an image to your report, you can use this image option. And the shapes, you have, these are the predefined shapes that are available based on your requirement, you can use it. So the line, if you want to provide a line as part of your visualization, as you can observe here, I used some lines over here. Okay, or we use some lines here. So if you want to define the line, let's assume you had a report with a header and logo or a top level filters, and below you have visualizations. You want to separate that header and visualizations with the help of line. We have this line option is there, and for that you can configure. So line, what is the color that you want to represent, and the color transparency, and what is the width of that line, and the rotation, how you want to represent. I want a horizontal line. Okay, so you can represent a line like this. Here you can, rotation option is there, you can specify how you want to represent or how much width that you want. you can specify. And the title, background, general, border all are same. So we already had a discussion. Title and if background, if you want to provide a background color, like aspect, you don't have anything as I already said. So border, if you want to provide a border to it, and what is the border color, and a general where you want to place. That is what the options that we have. In the same way, if if you want to use that triangle or oval or rectangle, you can able to use it, or arrows based on the requirement, you can able to use it. So that is what the shapes option that we have. And the next thing is, you have the custom visualizations concept is there. Custom visualizations, these are the by default visualizations that the Power BI is providing, and there are the visualizations which you can develop, or where the Power BI is allowing you to use the extra visualizations. This is the place. Okay, so I'm sending the link as part of a chart. One second. Okay, as part of a chart, I'm sending that link. So now, so as I said, these are the default visualizations that the Power BI is providing. By using the active script, you can able to create the new visualizations also, or you Power BI is providing some visualizations where you can able to download and use it. So those we are calling it as a custom visualizations, and I already sent the link. So if you want to use these visualizations as part of your reporting, so here you are able to see almost 104 visualizations are there. So if you want to use any of these visualizations as part of your reporting, you just need to download this visual. So let me download something, or anything, like let me play axis. So what you can do is, you need to click on add. You have two options are there here. One is, you can download that visualization, or you can download a report which contains a sample example. Okay, so you can download that custom visualization. That file will be saved, and then after, what you can do is, in your Power BI, you have an option here to import a custom visual. Click on it, import from file. So import, and from your downloads, the play axis, I have many things for downloaded. So click on open. So whenever you click on that one, that custom visualization will come here. Okay, and you can use that visualization as part of your reporting. Okay, so this is a custom visualization. What is the purpose of this custom visualization is, so let me create a couple of visualizations over here. So here the play axis, I'm defining the city names. What it is going to do is, whenever I click on it, it is going to play and it is going to provide the animation functionality for all the cities that I have. Okay, so it is one of the custom visualization, and whenever we are having a discussion on these visualizations, you will get to know what these visualizations can do and what are the custom visualizations that we have. And I will guide you to practice couple of custom visualizations which commonly used as part of reporting or which will be asked as part of interviews. Okay, all these visualizations I will explain with the properties, and I will suggest you to practice some custom visualizations. So here the concept today that you need to understand is, other than the visualization that we have, you have another 100 visualizations are there where you can download and you can use it as part of your reporting. So for that, the link I already shared, and from there we are going to download whatever the visualizations that we want. Once we download it, you are going to import it with the help of import from file or import from store. The difference I will explain you. Burnavan, go ahead.
That axis values you cannot get, right? That Chennai, Coimbatore, how it is, you get that amount value. See, amount paid by the city names, right? Your first visualization.
Yes. Yes.
You cannot get the amount, exact amount for the which axis. That is only.
Yes. What exactly the requirement?
The Chennai, how much? If you go over the annotation only, you can get, right? If you got the first to see first report, first P.
Okay.
Data labels, yes, yes.
Now,
okay.
It is fine, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And if you want the value to be represented here also, means with the help of DAX we can able to write it. So the same amount paid I will get like this, and I will keep it here after city name. Okay, so or we can truncate and we can add it. So whenever you perform it, like that. So we are going to, I will explain all the properties where what the visualizations contain. We'll get a clear picture. Clear, Vrindavan? Okay, fine.
Yes, okay, I got it.
Yeah. So once you are done with the custom visualization download, you can import it with the help of import from a file option, which will ask you to browse a file. You can select the file whatever you downloaded and import it. And if you don't want that visualization, you can delete the custom visualization, whatever the custom visualization that you have. It is showcasing the play axis is used as part of one file. KPI is not used as part of any file. If you select and if you delete it, automatically the visualization also will get deleted. This is how you can able to import a custom visualization or delete a custom visualization. Now the Power BI given an option. Previously till here only the concept, but Power BI is providing an option that instead of downloading and importing from a store itself, you can add it. So here you have two options are there: from store, from a file. From store is nothing but you need to provide your account details. Sorry, I will close it in next 2 minutes of time. So here you have the custom visualizations. What you can do is you can click on add. See, automatically it came. So you don't need to download. Sorry. You don't need to download and you don't need to import from a store itself. You can add whatever you want. Or from file means if you want to upload from the downloaded file, you can browse it. That will come here. That is what from store from a file. However you load it, if you want to delete it, you have only one option. Select it and delete it. So here also from a file, from store is there, the same options which are available here. That is what that from store from a file options that you are able to see. That is for a custom visualizations. To load the custom visualization from a portal itself, if you want to load, you have a from store option is there. Once you downloaded, if you want to load, from a file option is there. That is what the custom visualization importing and using. The usage of custom visualizations you will get understanding once you know the basic visualizations purposes. What these do, what this can do, if you can understand, then you can understand the custom visualization. I will explain all these functionalities in next 3 days of time. That's it for now. Do you people have any questions up to here?
Srinivas,
Yes, sir.
how can you create the account? There is any free account or to actually Gmail is not allowing that that one?
Yeah, Gmail will not allow you that. So like you need to have Office 365 email ID. So then only you can create an account. Otherwise, otherwise we need to purchase one domain, and based on that domain we are going to create an account.
So without you cannot do anything for from store or from file.
Without that means from a file you can do it. From a store you cannot do it. So from a file means like you
practice.
Yeah.
For practice, how can we do that one? Any free trial? Any there?
So like for a practice purpose also, if you want a PowerBI service account, you must have Office 365 email ID first thing. If you don't have Office 365 email ID, we need to do a workaround that you need to manually, like you need to purchase one domain, like in a GoDaddy and all the places we need to purchase one domain. As part of that domain purchase process, they will offer you email ID also. You need to purchase that email ID. Per month it will cost something. So with that email ID, it will be allow you to create a free PowerBI service account. So you need to do that one. I will guide you. Like if you don't have Office 365 email ID, I will guide you how to proceed for that. But it is very much required for all the people who are learning a PowerBI. Why? Because the complete PowerBI service concept is on this one only, account only. So anyone has any questions on whatever we discussed so far or whatever we discussed today?